Hello, this is Chanel Dupree, and I am with Foster Care and Fashion, and we are here today with Kansas Appleseed. We are going to be interviewing Bennett and Trinity, and we are super excited. We're sure to learn a lot, and we can't wait to get started. Hi, we are here at Kansas Appleseed, and I am here with Bennett and Trinity, and I am Chanel Dupree with Foster Care and Fashion, and we are learning more about Kansas Appleseed and the amazing organization that it is. So tell us a little bit about what your position is, and what Kansas Appleseed does.
So I'm the executive director for Kansas Appleseed. Trinity is our campaign director for our Just campaign, working on a broad range of issues that I'll let her take over in a second. But to talk briefly about Kansas Appleseed as a whole, we are a nonprofit advocacy organization working to build up a Kansas full of thriving, inclusive, and just communities.
Okay, that was a mouthful. We're going to break that down in a moment. Okay, so what exactly do you do?
I just came on, and as the Just campaign director, I will address foster care and juvenile justice reform in the state of Kansas. We also have a new project that is kind of background, but judicial funding. Anywhere where we can advocate and accomplish a more equitable Kansas is like what I see as Kansas Appleseed's goal.
So, I've been doing a lot of research about Kansas Appleseed, and I've always heard about the Appleseed project, and from my understanding, there are 17 different organizations across the state, across the nation, and then there's also one in Mexico.
That's right.
Okay, so do you all talk to one another? Like, how does that work?
Absolutely. And the great thing about being part of the Appleseed network is that we have, centers across the country that we can reach out to who are often grappling with very similar problems in their states, to share strategies, get lessons learned from other centers, many of whom are working, like I said, on the same issues affecting folks who have been traditionally excluded from the civic space.
Judicially excluded. So let's talk about some of the different because I heard you mention several different issues, and so we're going to break that down. But I also have been receiving some literature about the Kansas Children's Nutrition Program, and making certain that we're not losing any funding for our children for breakfast and school lunches and summer lunches. So can you tell me a little bit about the work that Kansas Appleseed is doing in regards to that issue?
So unfortunately, Kansas does have a hunger problem, and especially a childhood hunger problem. We rank near the bottom in the country for getting meals to kids during the summer months. We don't rank very well in getting nutrition to kids throughout the rest of the year either. So we've been working for the past few years to partner with community organizations, school districts, to try to fix that.
So can you tell me something tangible that Kansas Appleseed has done to address that issue? So when you say that you're partnering with school districts, what does that look like?
So schools obviously are the place where most kids get nutrition. So they play an incredibly important role in making sure that kids are growing up happy and healthy. And so some of the partnerships we've done have been around, for example, summer meals. We've, for the past few years, hosted what we call summits in every corner of the state, inviting people from the school district as well as other community partners to come learn about the program. And then we follow up with them pretty intensively if they're interested in starting a program, helping them with just some of the technical issues along the way as you try to get a summer meals program up and running.
So do you work with like harvesters? Are they pretty big here in Lawrence? Because they're big in Kansas City, I know for sure.
Absolutely, they're definitely a key partner in that work.
Okay, and so who are some other partners in this kind of plight to address childhood hunger?
School districts are a big partner. Parks and rec departments can be a big partner in that work. Really, any organization that has as part of its mission helping kids. We find that it's really important that kids feel comfortable coming to a place where meals are served, and so a lot of community programs have built up that trust.
It's interesting because as you're talking, I'm like, I think we did that. So my church, we hosted a summer lunch program, and we were actually, it was in connection with another church who needed some additional assistance. And so from June to July, we had, one year we did it, we had breakfast and lunch. And then the next year we did it, we just had lunch. And it was interesting because there was another agency that had one pretty close, but apparently they just served like boxed lunches, and we had like the hot lunch, like the spaghetti and they were doing it. So yeah, so absolutely. So churches, they're a part of this as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, and it's something because I think I was reading that they're trying to change how they do school breakfast. So instead of like come in, sit down, they're just like, the kids come in and they just grab it and they go. And I think that I was reading that it's increased. And I know that with my own kids, I'm like, look, you ate breakfast at home, don't go to school, get them breakfast. But it's like right there, and everyone's kind of grabbing something. So that may, I guess, play a role as well.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
And that's an area where Kansas City, Kansas is really a national leader in implementing some of those effective programs to make sure that kids are getting nutrition at the beginning of the day,
Okay.
so that they can have that to really thrive and learn.
And focus, right? Because if you're hungry,
Yep.
how do you focus? Because I'm thinking about the fact that I'm hungry. So, okay, well, that is awesome. So if the organization is interested in getting involved in something like that, can they contact Kansas Appleseed and find out like who they need to reach out to and how they can make those connections? Because sometimes folks just don't know where to start.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So people can reach us on our website, www.kansasappleseed.org. They can reach us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/KansasAppleseed.
Okay.
We're on Twitter. They can call us up on our phone line, really any way they want to.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you're accessible, right? You want to help people to get involved in this process.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Absolutely. And it's going to be with, as you said, with the community, right? Because access is a thing. So not only can you create the supports, the kids have to actually go there. And so
Right.
when you get recreation centers provided